time where everybody dreamed of growing up. Maybe you daydream about having your own apartment, cool job maybe, even getting married, starting a family one day. But as of 2025, I personally have noticed a huge problem that is absolutely disgusting. I don't know how something so degrading became so popularized, but it would seem as if people don't want you to get older anymore. In other words, people are out here actually being ageist. With social media and the rise of young influencers at an all-time high, it's no surprise at all that you're supposed to have your entire life figured out and be successful and a multi-millionaire all before you're even able to drive. I feel like I'm partially making this video because I recently just turned 29. Yes, I am pushing 30, bro. But the crazy part is I've never personally felt insecure about my age until I turned 29, because now every time I interact with somebody and let them know that my birthday just passed, instead of them congratulating me and wishing me happy birthday for my 29th birthday, it's like the only thing they can think of is how close I am to 30. Like, genuinely, my interactions now are like, happy birthday, Berto, how old are you turning? Oh man, I just turned 29. God damn, you about to be 30, ain't it? Yeah, but I'm not 30 yet. Can we appreciate the fact that it's my last year in my 20s? Can we just focus on that part right there, please? I genuinely don't know what switched, but if I really had to think about it, it has to be the internet, bro. I mean, I'm seeing people that just turned 20 years old get called unk now. But I don't want to focus too much on the boring comment sections because we've already seen that a million times about how the younger generation loves to clown people for getting older in the comments, right? Today's video, when we're talking about ageism, I kind of want to focus on the fact that people seem like they don't even want to grow up anymore. Age aside, I'm even guilty of it myself because I feel like there's something beautiful about maintaining your youth. And I'm not just talking about appearance, but just energy in general, right? But it seems like somewhere along the lines, we kind of lost the plot. Like back in the day, Gen X, I'm talking about millennials, adulthood was seen as freedom. A job meant money, security. Owning a house meant success, marriage, kids. All of that was on the checklist. Like even the media back then, they pushed it hard. People in their early 20s were always depicted as people that were living in like apartments that they could barely afford, and quite frankly struggling to make ends meet as they chased their dreams in like some big city or something. Figuring your life out in your 20s used to be a very normal concept, but fast forward to now, it almost seems like that version of adulthood is a complete lie, with social media painting people in their early 20s living a very lavish and expensive lifestyle. While that is a reality for a lot of people, it almost feels like people that are kind of just living a more regular lifestyle but are seeing these things on the internet are now being brainwashed into thinking that's what their life needs to be or they aren't successful. And I can't even put all the blame on social media because when you really start to look around, rent prices are higher than ever because of political shit that I don't even understand. Inflation is as high as ever, so now you got to work more hours to make ends meet. So now you're spending most of your life just sitting at your desk or whatever job you have to work. And if you're in school, you're probably drowning in student debt and have a side hustle just to try and make that shit work. So it's pretty clear that things have changed. I think in the mind within people that are in Gen Z or younger, they're seeing what's going on. They're seeing what that regular 9-to-5 life has done to the older generation. Our parents are tired. Our teachers are burnt out. We literally watch the adults before us drag themselves to work, be underpaid, and by the end of it all just seem emotionally checked out. So on the same side of that coin, when you're looking around and you're seeing young people have this successful lifestyle on the internet, your mind kind of shifts from, I don't really want to go the traditional route. I'm trying to be young and turn like these people that I'm seeing on the internet, which all ties back to this extra pressure that young people feel to have to get to it at a younger age, which on the contrary starts to make people that feel a bit older than, you know, that early 20 window that they haven't made, that they aren't successful in life at all because they missed their opportunity. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little bit scary to think about though, because if all the young people are opting out of traditional jobs and wanting to like pretty much be social media stars or entrepreneurs and start their own businesses, what does the future really look like? Because, you know what I'm saying, the leader of the world right now, they're all older, they all went to school, they all really know what the fuck they're doing at their job. But unfortunately, at some point, those guys are gonna be moving on to the next life, and we're supposed to be stepping up to the plate. Where are the doctors? Where are the lawyers? Where are the fucking firefighters? Where are the police officers? I live on the internet. Social media is my job. So maybe my eyes are closed off from all the people that are actually really passionate about doing regular jobs. But I also feel like I'm not crazy when I see influencers everywhere. Like, I'm literally seeing influencers at their jobs. People are making videos of them being a normal 9-to-5 worker and making content off of it, which that's cool. You're entitled to do that. Just wonder, the ones that are actually successful and maybe are starting to get a lot of views and probably starting to get paid more off of the content than the actual job itself, what does that do to their mind? Like, do they still just show up to work every day? Or do they kind of say, well, you know what, maybe I could do this thing instead? All jokes aside, I think are some pros and cons to this whole ageism thing. It really does make people feel like they're not good enough if they weren't successful in this small window of time, and now they're older than, I don't know, fucking 21 apparently. And we're also seeing how people that are in their fucking 30s are still acting like teenagers because they just can't let go of the young lifestyle. It's like, my nigga, grow the fuck up. And then on the other hand, you have people like me that are getting shamed for still doing content creation because I'm pushing 30. It's like, bro, I don't stop making good content just because I got older. Like, what the fuck? Again, I did say I probably am making this video just because of the insecurities that I'm feeling and people attacking me, talking about, oh, I mean, shit, bro, I'm not that old. I don't even feel like I look that old. But I do think for the most part, adulthood has changed, bro. So I think the bigger conversation starts to shift to, it's not that people don't want to grow up, but the way that people are growing up are just completely different. Another big example is like these iPad kids. There's obviously a lot of downsides to these kids getting access to technology super early, but another huge upside is that, because I remember growing up, if I wanted to like read something, I literally would have to go find out that book in the library, or, you know, it would just be so much more of a hassle to try to find information. But now everything is literally on our phones. I mean, we have fucking ChatGPT. I can ask it anything and it will give me the answer, like, detailed, and I can ask for more and more and more and more and more, and the possibilities are endless. But then on the flip side, we have babies frying their attention spans before they're even able to say their fucking ABCs. But one thing's for sure, we are all gonna get older, and getting older is a gift. It honestly shouldn't be looked at as a negative thing. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to maintain your youth, because at the end of the day, being young is a beautiful thing. It's the time of your life where you're the most able, the most energetic, the most curious, being in a position to keep learning new things. But that doesn't necessarily have to go away as you get older. And we went over a lot of pros and cons on both sides of the story for this video, but I think people need to just be more secure with the fact that they are getting older, and that's okay. And you're not weird for still liking the things that you did when you were younger, but you also have to keep in mind, as you get older, the more responsibility you're probably gonna have to bear. So there's gonna be a time and place for everything. Regardless of the toxic conversations on TikTok, you're in control of your own reality.
Where you at, Berto?